Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So before we get into the video, I just wanted to say thank you all so much for 5,000. Like, I could never have imagined I'd have gotten to this point, and I'm just so grateful. Like, thank you guys all so much. You are amazing. If you noticed, you may have noticed the outfit has changed compared to my other videos. It is daytime. Finally, I'm recording, not at 2 a.m. Today's video is something I've kind of noticed. Again, I wanted to discuss something shocking. In the Therian community and the Therian mask maker community, there's, I think, a lot of like discussion about prices. And as a mask maker myself, who does have an Etsy, like I own, this is like a business, it's a part-time job for me making masks. And I've had a couple of people message me on Etsy, be like, why are they so expensive? Like, why is it so expensive? That doesn't make sense. And this is just my personal experience, but I think a lot of other mask makers also have to go through stuff like this with people complaining about their prices because they are not in that person's price range. My masks are about $90 to $100, and I think that's pretty good. I add posable ears, usually posable if I add antenna, that's also posable, and accessories and stuff. Like, I think these masks take sometimes 10 to 12 hours of work, okay? So even 90, if I'm counting costs for materials as well, that's like bare minimum, for pricing. So since I have free shipping, I am paying shipping costs as well, and so I'm not making very much, I'm making maybe $40 to $50 from these masks, and that is already under minimum wage compared to the amount of hours I work. And although my mask quality, I think personally I could price them for much higher, I still want to be relatively accessible to people that don't have as much money. But I still have had people purchase my masks and then in their review complain that it's a bit expensive. And obviously, no hate, if you think it's expensive, that's fine. Art is luxury. But the fact that you complain about the price after you bought it, which I'm not forcing you to buy my work, that is your choice, but you bringing up the price just doesn't make much sense to me if you bought it. If you thought it was pricey, you didn't have to buy it, No one is forcing you. But I don't know, I think the fact that so many people ask mask makers all the time, like, can I have a free mask, can you give me a mask for free, can we do a mask trade so I don't have to pay, can you drop your price by $30, like, these things, I understand, but also, this is a lot of our jobs, and so, there's a point where you have to say, no, I cannot drop my prices anymore for you. No, I am not giving you anything for free. This is my job, and these things take me hours, okay? I can maybe get 1 or 2 masks done a month. Like, that is the max amount. I can maybe get 2 done a month. And even then, that's like, I'm really grinding, because these take me a lot of time, and I also have a life outside of social media, and outside of my Etsy, and my art and stuff. I go to see friends, I hang out, I have rest days. Mask makers, we are people, not like factories. It is one person usually making all of these things, and I have already underpriced my stuff, but people are still like, oh my god, $90 for a mask that took you almost 20 hours sometimes? Some of these masks take me 10 hours, some take me 5, and some take me 20, but they're all priced the same, when realistically, I could probably be pricing my stuff for like $130, but, I still want it to be accessible to some people, I still want to try to make my work accessible, but again, it is still a luxury to be able to purchase art, and not everyone has that luxury. And obviously, no hate if you're not able to and not in the financial situation to, but since this is a lot of our jobs, we cannot drop our prices like for you. And there are a lot of talented mask makers that do have masks that are cheaper than ours, with my quality, my level of skill, the amount of time it takes me, and the high demand, I'm able to price my stuff on a slightly higher end of the scale. And there are a lot of other mask makers who are, you know, less well known that are selling amazing masks for cheaper prices, you know? You don't have to buy an expensive mask. There are a lot of options to buy $10 or $15 masks sometimes, $30 masks, you know? There are a bunch of very talented people that do sell their stuff for cheaper, and so you coming to us asking for free stuff or for us to drop our prices, I understand if you want the level of quality, you know, that is the stuff I make, but if you want that level of quality, you're gonna have to pay for it, you know? And I hope this doesn't sound too, like, oh my god, I don't want to come off as, like, well, my master is so cool, so I'm, like, selling them, like, oh, I do not want to come off narcissistic. Please let me know if I come off as, like, I don't want to do that. I hate people that do that. All I know is my worth, and I am pricing myself, I'm undervaluing my own work, okay? This is the only source of income I have right now, you know? This is like my part-time job, and, you know, I am not going to lower my prices any further than they already have been, you know, and if my prices are out of your price range, that is fine. Again, there are a lot of talented mask makers that do have stuff that is a little bit cheaper than mine that you can go to instead of me. But if you want my work, you can either save up or, again, go to other mask makers that do sell amazing stuff for slightly cheaper prices. If there are any mask makers watching this, let me know, like, your experience with selling and owning a small business, and just how much you normally price your stuff for, and, like, if you find what I'm saying, like, unfair, or if there's anything that you want to add to the conversation, please leave your opinions in the comments. As always, opinions are so welcome on this channel, and I just love hearing all the different perspectives on certain topics. Like, I think that's really cool. I guess my consensus is art is luxury, and if you can't afford luxury, that is okay. But you telling these people that are spending hours and hours on the stuff to lower their prices is not okay. I also didn't even add in the cost for materials. I spend about $100 on materials to make like 5 or 6 masks, okay? And I make a slight profit, but also I have my labor costs, shipping costs, the costs to buy, I buy my boxes and my packaging supplies and my trinkets and all the stuff I give in the box. And so, again, it costs a lot to run even a small business, and I understand why you may want a mask that's cheaper, but there are other people out there that are willing to provide the service that I just cannot financially do, because I am already doing the lowest possible price for my work. I could be selling my stuff for much more expensive, but I don't want to do that, you know? But, you know, when you ask for me to lower my price, that in my mind, I've already lowered a lot, you know, it just makes me, like, you probably just don't understand the amount of work and the amount of time and stress making these things can have, you know. And, you know, some months I make no money. Some months I'll make 1,000, you know. It just depends on my motivation. And I'm lucky enough to right now be young enough that I don't need to have a job, but I'm hoping that I can at least make this a part-time job. And so if I want to do that, realistically, I cannot be undervaluing myself, because it's just not going to be able to be a job, you know? Again, mask makers, fellow mask makers, let me know in the comments, fellow business owners, just let me know your opinion on this matter, and, like, what you normally do for pricing, and kind of how you determine how much your stuff should cost. And yeah, please just let me know your opinions in the comments. Yeah, I'm sorry if I again sound really bad in this video. I have terrible allergies right now, so my nose is stuffed, and I sound really bad, so I'm so sorry for that. Yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed. Again, leave your opinions in the comments. If you've stuck around this long, leave a star emoji in the comments, and give me your favorite animal. Let's do this every video. This is fun. I like to see how many people are loyal. No, I'm joking. But yeah, if you stuck around this long, leave a star emoji and your favorite animal in the comments. Thank you guys so much again for 5,000. Like, that means the world to me. You guys are actually insane. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your day or night. Bye!